Hey, my name is Sean and I'm 58 years old. I've been an electrician my whole life. It's not a glamorous gig with all the fancy stuff and a luxurious lifestyle, but it pays enough to take care of my family. However, I live alone now. My ex-wife Janice and I separated 15 years ago. We have a lovely daughter, Nicole, who's all grown up and living with her husband now. Now that I live alone, the money that I make working as an electrician covers all of my needs just fine. But that wasn't always the case. When we were together, Janice and we had Nicole, we had to see some pretty rough times. My job didn't always cut it for the three of us, especially with Nicole's education bills piling up. We had it pretty rough, but we managed somehow. I know Nicole had a rough childhood. We were financially weak, and I know I couldn't always get my baby girl everything she wanted. I still remember when she was in high school. She and her friends decided to go on a trip. She was over the moon about it, but unfortunately, I couldn't afford to pay for it. It broke her heart. I still remember how her voice was cracking while talking when she realized she wouldn't be going on the trip.
Hey, Dad, I got some news.
What is it, sweetheart?
We are planning to go on a trip. Me and my friends.
A trip?
Yeah, so Deborah, Amanda, Kathy, Amy, and me, we are planning to go on a trip. There's this beautiful vacation home 25 miles from here. It also has a lake nearby. We're planning to go on a 3-day trip. And Amy already knows the owner of the house. So we think she can get us some sort of discount for staying there. It's going to be so much fun.
Listen, sweetie, you know we had some medical bills to pay this month. And also, we had to fix the ceiling of your room. We don't have money left.
How much do we have?
Not enough. And the month isn't over yet. We still have to buy groceries for the rest of the month. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Dad, but I really want to go on this trip. The school will soon be over, and we might not get another chance to do something like this.
I understand that, sweetheart, but we don't have that kind of money. I have an idea. Why don't you all postpone this trip to next month? And I'll get the money from somewhere for you.
Can't you get it this month?
I would if I could. I promise I'll get it for you next month.
I don't know, Dad. Why is it always like this?
What?
Why is it that we never have enough to do anything ever? Amy goes on at least one vacation with her family every year. And the last time we went somewhere was the city zoo, and that was like 4 years ago.
Sweetheart, listen.
And I scored better grades than Deborah, yet Deborah got a new mobile phone last year. And I just got a cake. I scored way better grades than her. Amanda buys new clothes every week. Why do I get less than any of my friends? How is this fair?
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but we can't do anything about it. Your friends' families are doing better than us financially, so they can afford to do these things. We don't have enough money to do these things, but I am trying my best to give you all I can. I can understand how you feel about it, but it is how it is. Life is not the same for everyone. That does not mean that it'll be like this forever. I don't expect you to understand all of this right now, but I want you to understand that I am doing my best to give you a good life.
It's not fair. I just hate my life.
Hey, Nicole, listen. And she dashed off to her room crying. I could see the pain in her eyes because everything she said was true. Her friends were in a better financial position than us. And I could understand if a high school kid would feel this way and say these things. I could see Nicole was hurt deep inside that day. It was one of those moments when your kids realize that life is not always how we want it to be. I called her for dinner, but she refused to leave her room. I took the dinner to her room. Me and Nicole, we had our dinner in her room, and I told her some things to cheer up her mood. I also told her if they could plan that trip for next month, I'll get the money for it. She agreed, and everything went back to being fine. But life has its own ways to knock us down. Turns out Nicole's friends didn't agree, and they went for the trip, leaving Nicole behind. Nicole cried all day in her room while her friends went on the trip. Now that I look back, I understand why she did things that she did, and what the reason behind it was. 8 years after Janice and I separated, Janice married John. Until then, Janice moved back to her parents' house and I took care of Nicole all by myself. Janice used to come with us, but I had to raise Nicole all on my own. After she married John, she wanted Nicole to live with her. At first, I didn't agree to it, but looking at Nicole, I had to. She had her dad, but she also needed her mother. And John was financially well off. He could give her a life that I never could. So we went to court, and the court decided that Nicole was old enough to make that decision for herself. She decided to go with Janice, and I was okay with it. I wanted whatever was best for her, and at that moment, living with Janice and John was better for her than living with me. John owned a business, and it was doing pretty well. John had a bigger home, a better car, and a profitable business. Janice and Nicole went to live with him. I visited them sometimes, but I never liked John. I could always hear a condescending tone in his voice when he talked to me. I didn't like him the first time we met. He was just so full of himself. He thinks that I am just a low-life electrician who can't take care of his family. I still remember the first time I met him, and he started taking shots at me. It had been 2 months since Janice had married John. I went to their house to meet Nicole, and there he was, standing right in front of my face, not letting me meet my baby girl. "Oh hey, you must be John. I'm Sean." "Sean who?" "I thought Janice must have told you about me. I'm her ex-husband." "Oh, I see. By the way, congratulations on the wedding. Janice is a wonderful woman." "I know she is, and now she's finally with someone who she actually deserves." "Excuse me?" "What are you here for, Sean? Did you come to congratulate your ex-wife on her wedding?" "Hey, listen. I'm just here to meet my daughter. She's not home, but she just texted me she is." "No, she is not." "Do you mind if I come in and take a look?" "I don't know why she texted you that, but she is not home right now. So you can just turn around and get out of here." "Hey, listen, whoever you think you are, you can't stop me from meeting my daughter." "Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you."
Hey, Dad, I've been waiting for you.
"I guess she is home. Nicole, Sean is here to meet you." Turns out Nicole was home, and I realized John had a bone to pick with me. I don't know for what reasons. Nicole came and I met her. She looked happy. She talked about how she has an amazing room in John's house, and they also went to the mall the other day and did a lot of shopping. She told me how happy Mom was, and they had a huge kitchen, and how John is planning to give her a car for her next birthday. These words pierced right through my heart. It just made me think about how I couldn't give her everything she wanted, and how I had failed as a father. But it was my baby girl, and I was happy for her. I could see that she was genuinely happy, and I told myself, maybe it's good that Janice married John. Nicole could finally get everything she wanted. Time went by, and everything was good. I used to go visit Nicole and Janice. Me and John had our fair share of differences, but we never let Janice or Nicole find out about it. John never missed an opportunity to ridicule me, and I didn't stand down either. We were just going back and forth with each other. But the day that truly broke my heart was the day when Nicole told me that she didn't want me to walk her down the aisle at her wedding. It just completely shattered my heart. First of all, neither Janice nor Nicole told me that she had a boyfriend that she wanted to marry. He proposed and they got engaged. Nobody told me anything. I was furious. Janice didn't tell me anything until the wedding dates were confirmed. The moment I heard of Nicole's wedding, it infuriated me. How could they plan my daughter's wedding without me? I didn't know who the groom was, or when they got engaged. Nicole called me and told me all about it, and then she called me home. She wanted to talk to me about the wedding. The moment she said this, all my rage went away. I knew she was going to talk about me walking her down the aisle, but little did I know, it was quite the opposite of what I was hoping for. I went to John's place. Janice invited me in, and we all sat in the living room. Me, John, Janice, and Nicole, just staring at each other, awkwardly silent. That's when John broke the silence. "Do you want me to tell him?"
No, John, I'll tell him."
"Tell me what? Why are you guys acting so weird? Did something happen? Janice, what is going on?" "Nothing, Sean. It's just Nicole wants to talk to you about something."
Dad, I don't know how to say this, but I think it's best if John walked me down the aisle instead of you.
"What?"
See, Dad, It's just, it would be best for everyone if no one knew who my real dad is. A broken, pathetic electrician.
What? A pathetic electrician?
Dad, listen carefully. My fiance comes from a reputed business family, and he is going to inherit all of his dad's businesses someday. I don't want his family to know that my real father is actually a broke electrician. He would never accept me.
What are you saying?
It would be best if John walked me down the aisle. He would fit right in. Plus, the groom's side already knows John and they like him. I don't want them to know that I was raised by an electrician. They wouldn't want the daughter of an electrician to be their daughter-in-law. It would just be against their family's image and their social circle.
Nicole, you're ashamed to call me your father?
Dad, there's a reason we didn't tell you about the engagement and everything. I think it would be best for me if nobody knew you were my father.
Wow. It's just heartbreaking. Listen, John, think about your daughter, all right? She is going to be married in a very luxurious way. The guests that'll come, the people that'll come to meet her, would not think well of her if they knew you were her real dad. A lowly electrician. I should walk her down the aisle. Janice, do you hear what they are saying?
Sean, look. I know how it sounds, but this is about your daughter's life, and I just want what's best for her. And I know you do too. Just think about it.
See, let me ask you something, Sean. Would you want your daughter to marry an electrician like you?
If he is a good man and truly loves her.
But could he give her the life she deserves? I mean, were you able to give the best of everything to Nicole when she was a kid? No, but that doesn't mean... That's what I'm talking about. We're all on the same team here, Sean. We all want what's best for Nicole. And we think it's best if I walk her down the aisle instead of you.
He's right, Dad, you know?
All right, if you want that. Also, you can attend the wedding, but I'd suggest that you stay on the low during the wedding. We wouldn't want any of the guests to find out that you're Nicole's real father. You're free to have as much champagne as you want. It's your daughter's wedding, but make sure no one knows that she is your daughter. A lot of people will be at the wedding. I think you'll blend in fine. I understand. And you get yourself a good suit for the wedding, please.
I will.
Thank you for understanding, Sean. It's for our daughter, Nicole. We just want what's best for her.
I understand, Janice. That was it. They told me I couldn't let anybody know that I am Nicole's real father, and I could do nothing but agree to it. The things everybody said shattered me from the inside. My baby girl telling me that I couldn't walk her down the aisle on her special day was enough to make me cry. I went back to my house and broke down. All I could remember was that my daughter was just embarrassed to say that I was her real dad, and she would prefer that her stepdad walk her down the aisle. All of this made me realize that I had failed as a father. I failed to give my daughter the life she wanted, and now she is ashamed of calling me her dad. I didn't meet Adam, her fiance, and she wanted to keep it that way. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I just cried in my bed, thinking about everything that had happened that day. A couple of weeks later, I got a text from Janice that the wedding would happen next month. I decided that I wouldn't go. If Nicole didn't want the guests and her in-laws to meet me, I shouldn't attend the wedding at all. Time went by and everything stayed the way it was. I hoped every day that someday I would get a call from Nicole telling me that I was the one who should be doing all the rituals that a father is supposed to do at his daughter's wedding, but it didn't happen. As time went by, my hopes shattered with each passing day. Soon, I realized that it was not going to happen, and I'll have to make peace with it for the rest of my life. Just a week before the wedding, I got a call from Janice.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
You know, just hanging in there. You called me. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good. Don't worry.
How's Nicole doing?
Oh, you know, she's excited. It's her big day after all. She misses you.
Janice, please. I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but we both know the truth.
I just called to check up on you. Whatever happened that day must have been brutal for you.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't.
I understand, but that's what's best for our daughter.
I suppose you're right.
She loves you, she does. It's just we can't risk anything in the wedding.
I understand, Janice. I just want Nicole to be happy.
You're a good dad and a good man, Sean. Nicole will be happy to see you at the wedding.
Listen, I don't think I'll be coming to the wedding.
What? Why? It's your daughter's wedding.
I know. It's just that we'll be having people that already know about me, and me being there would only create more problems for Nicole. I think it's best if I don't come to the wedding at all. I'll visit the house once the wedding is done to congratulate Nicole.
Are you sure? Is that what you want?
What I want does not matter. I just don't want to create any problems for Nicole. It's better if I don't come. You know what I mean, right?
I do, Sean. If you can change your mind, please come. Nicole and I will both be happy if you're there.
All right, Janice.
All right. You take care of yourself, Sean.
Janice knew that I was hurt. After all, we were together for so many years and she knew everything about me. I could hear that she was concerned about me. But our priority was our daughter's wedding. Everything else came after it. The next day, I got a call from Janice, and she told me that Nicole would come and visit me a few days after the wedding if I didn't make it to her wedding. Janice had told Nicole about how I was planning not to come. Hearing Janice say this gave me a sense of relief. It made me realize that my daughter still cared about me. Then came the day of the wedding. I was home, and all I could think of was how the wedding was going, how Nicole looked in her wedding dress. I could only think about my daughter's wedding. In the afternoon, I got a call from Janice. I picked up the call and Janice sounded quite stressed. Hey Janice, everything all right? How's the wedding going?
Sean, you need to come here right now.
What? What happened?
You wouldn't believe what our daughter did.
What happened? Is she all right?
She is calling off the wedding.
What? Why?
You come here as soon as you can. I'll tell you everything once you get here.
All right, I'm on my way. I took my car keys and went to the wedding venue. I reached the venue and everything looked fine to me. I searched for Janice and there she was, looking for me. I called out her name. She saw me and came to me. What happened?
Nicole just found out that John and Adam's father has made some kind of deal to invest in some business. And all of this wedding is just a transaction for them.
What? I don't understand.
John wants them to invest in his business, so he's getting Nicole married to their son.
What?
Nicole just heard them talking to each other about the deal. She went to Adam, and he doesn't know anything about it either.
I'll kill John. You can't do this to my daughter. Where's Nicole?
Nicole and Adam are in the bride's dressing room with John and Adam's father. They are screaming and fighting at each other. I think we should go there.
Take me there. Me and Janice, we both dashed off to the bride's dressing room, but it was empty. One of Nicole's friends told us that they all went to the other room. Me and Janice went to the other room. We knocked on the door and Adam opened up. All four of them were there. I looked at Nicole and she was crying. She saw me and her face lit up.
Nicole, sweetie, are you okay?
Dad, you're here.
Who let this man in? Call somebody and throw him out right now.
Watch your mouth, John. He's my father.
Forget about them. Are you okay? Your mom told me about everything that had happened. He's your dad? You never told me about him.
I wanted to, but
I told her not to tell anyone about me. I'm just an electrician, and I didn't want anybody to think that Nicole here is the daughter of a pathetic electrician. Hello, sir. It's good to meet you. My name is Adam, and I'm in love with your daughter. I would have talked to you before if I had known, but now that you're here, I want to ask for your permission to marry your daughter. I don't care if Nicole is the daughter of an electrician or the richest man in the world. All I know is that she is the love of my life, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her. With your permission, sir. Nicole, do you love Adam?
I do, Dad.
Is he a good man?
He is.
Then let's get you both married. Listen to me carefully, son. I don't care what John and your father did. All I know is that you love my daughter and my daughter loves you. We can talk about all of this later. Let's get you and Nicole married first. Thank you, sir. I'll keep her happy, always. And John, we have some things to settle. I'll see you after the wedding. All of us went to the wedding. Nicole told me to walk her down the aisle, and Adam introduced me to the rest of his family. As I walked Nicole down the aisle, I looked at Janice, and she was genuinely happy to see me walk her down. I looked at John, and he was just standing there with his head down. The wedding was done and it went okay. After the wedding, both Adam and Nicole went to John to confront him about everything. They screamed at him, and all he could say was that he was sorry. Adam assured him that none of his family members would ever invest in his businesses. John broke down and started to cry. Turns out, his company was on the verge of bankruptcy, and the only way to save it was to take a heavy investment from Adam's father. He tried to convince Adam, but Adam didn't give in. He said neither he nor would he let his dad invest in John's company. John begged, but Adam didn't budge, and Nicole, on the other hand, apologized for saying mean things to me after the wedding. It has been 1 year since the wedding happened. Janice forgave John, but Nicole never did. Nicole never calls John for any of the family get-togethers, but she calls me every time. 7 months after the wedding, John's company was declared bankrupt. He had to shut down his business, and now he's just doing a regular job in an office. I meet John and Janice sometimes, and John begs me for forgiveness. He realized that he was arrogant and said mean things to me for no reason. He asked me to tell Nicole to forgive him, but it's not my decision to make. It's Nicole's. After all, it was her wedding that John tried to turn into a business deal. Whenever I meet Nicole, she tells me how much she loves me. Hearing my daughter say she loves me means everything to me. I can see that she is happily married, and Adam is a great guy. He treats me with respect and calls me dad. I guess I am a broken, pathetic electrician, but you know what my daughter says? I am also a great dad, and that means more to me than millions of dollars.